I had to like, I don't know what I was doing, but nothing's going on. Just sitting at home, doing homework.
Yeah, yeah. How's that? How's this time been for you, man? It must be just, crazy not being out there with people and doing your thing.
Oh, I definitely be out. 'Cause I go to work and my mom lives in Waterbury, so I'll be over there too as well.
Okay.
But it's definitely a process. It's definitely a challenge. But obviously we all adapted to it. We've been quarantined for a while now, so.
Yeah, I think I've been in here since March 12th. It's been a long time. So by the way, I'm Gary, Coach Tiger. That's Jordan. So father son. We're both from Richfield. Um, Coach Richfield wrestling, coach football when they were little. Play football way before you were around. Um, but yeah, we used to play against Danbury all the time. So we know a lot of people. So
Definitely, I do know a lot of Richfield people.
yeah, yeah. So we came across you, man, because you just gotten so much publicity and big in this area. Anybody who's going D1 and a top recruit, gets a lot of props being from Connecticut and getting that. So are you excited about the opportunity to go to college and play D1?
I am definitely excited to go to college. I never expected myself to go to play college at the level that I am, and especially playing at the Big Ten. That's a big right there, and playing with a extremely well coached team and with Coach Fleck and them. So I'm just ready to get to work and ready for the journey. Putting Connecticut on the map.
Yeah, well, you're certainly going to do that.
So I think like that's incredible, and I think my dad mentioned to you that we're trying to track down elite athletes and find out kind of how you became elite. So we'll definitely get to talk all about Minnesota.
Did we just freeze up? How the hell am I?
And the transition from BC to Minnesota.
Oh yeah. So oh yeah, moving to the defensive end spot, Pop Warner. That's when I loved it, and obviously shined doing that.
I read somewhere that you didn't really love football right away, and it was kind of something that you grew in love with. And it sounds like the switch to D end kind of helped that. What were some other stuff that kind of helped you, grow some love for the game?
Honestly, I didn't really love it until I'll say at the end of my sophomore year, when they finally moved me to the moved me to varsity, and finally got that chance to start. I always knew I can play, and Coach Thierry, he really gave me the opportunity my junior year to thrive, and yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it seems like Coach Thierry and you kind of a pretty good relationship. I know I was looking at your guys' records, and when you were a sophomore, you guys were 1-9, and then you started to really, grow from there. As junior year, you're 4-6, and senior year, 5-5. What kind of changed? What kind of change did he bring, and then what did that spark in you to change once he got there?
Honestly, the change that he brought was the culture that he brought to us, and really was believing in ourselves and believing in our work ethic and what separates us players from everybody else. And everyone's going to be a Josh Joyner, everyone's going to be a Kyle Jackson, but it's the amount of work that separates you from those players, and yeah, he yeah, really believing in yourself, and yeah, that confidence, that edge that they really brought to us, and changed everybody around us to be better and want to win, and yeah.
Was that a buy-in from day one? You just walked on campus and it was just different?
The first week he came, yeah, he was talking to the whole team. I didn't know about any colleges or anything. I really didn't watch college. But that week he said that we're gonna go to Temple, and yeah, that line that I knew it was serious from there because yeah, I didn't know I was gonna be playing college football.
Hey, Ja, what, so you talked about him bringing a culture in, and gave you guys this confidence. What specific things, did you see? What specific things did you guys do to get that confidence? Was it just practicing harder? Was it just, mindset stuff? What was it that was different?
It was mindset stuff. It was mandatory like meetings, mandatory lifts. That was never a part of before him, and going to like challenges like the lineman challenge, um, little like championship things that challenge us throughout the off season to get us ready for that for our upcoming season, and going to camps, and yeah.
So really more of a structured program than you had in the past.
Right.
Cool.
So I know you quickly mentioned that trip to Temple, and if I read it correctly online, I think Coach took you and maybe one other player out there to visit Temple.
Coach Collins, he was the head coach at Temple, and Coach Panagos, he was looking at Dion. Coach Thierry referred the Deontay Vine to go there and visit with them, and Coach Panagos, he wanted to see me as well, the defensive line coach that was there, and yeah, that's how I went there, because Coach Panagos.
Was that kind of like a reality check when you went there to kind of, because you mentioned you weren't really into, D1 football wasn't really on your radar yet. So was that kind of like an eye opener? Like, okay, I can do this thing.
Yeah, once you get somebody at that high level believe in you, you obviously want to work harder and find that edge that can separate you, and yeah, someone believing in me, that was really big for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. Having belief from somebody above you is a big deal. What kind of stuff changed in you after that happened? Work ethic wise and just training regimen. Like obviously, now your goals have increased. What about your training increased?
My training increased was it was all about the basics and the technique wise, and finding what I do best, and I'm not like that vocal leader to get the guys going, but I am the guy that leads by example, and I wanted to improve that as well. So yeah, being that kind of like that leader of the team.
Are you a love the gym guy, or are you a guy who just, I gotta go, I gotta do the work because I gotta hit my goals? But what kind of guy are you? Some guys are gym rats, man. What kind of guy are you?
Absolutely. Yeah, that started after it was like junior year. I really didn't go to the gym my sophomore year, freshman year. But as soon as my career.
I think I know on my end I'm having some technical difficulties, so you guys are experiencing, I don't know, but
I lost you for a second there, Ja, right when you started answering that question.
You say you lost me?
Yeah, I lost you. You were starting to talk about when when you started getting in the gym a little bit more, but then you kind of cut out.
Oh,
To run that back real.
so my sophomore year, my freshman year, I did not go to the gym. Yeah, that just wasn't a part of me. And after Coach Kieffer came and really enforced the gym, and that's really where you grow and where you get better, and you see the results on the field. And I saw that that year, my junior year, that was kind of my breakout year right there.
Nice.
Yeah. So you start breaking out. You have a great season. I mean, I got your stats here. It's like 34 tackles, 11 sacks, just, pretty dominant. I looked a lot online about you, and Coach Sherry says a lot of nice things about you. He really praises you with high regards. He also mentions you're a very humble kid. How do you kind of stay humble and stay focused on the goal rather than listen to the outside noise when you're kind of having that breakout moment?
Honestly, it's kind of easy because I'm not used to like all the fame, and I'm not used to like bragging about my success. I always want to bring somebody's success up, and I always look at my teammates and like a Kyle Jackson, DJ Donovan. Those are great players, and I always refer to them when I go to these college events. And it's not all about me. It's all about like the people that helped me and that really yeah, brought the best in me, like in practice and in games. And yeah, I keep referring Kyle because me and him, we go against each other every day in practice, and just excited for him to go to Wagner and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really cool thing to have somebody that pushes you on the field. I saw the picture of you guys signing together. Can you just speak on what it means to kind of leave a legacy with him? Obviously, Danbury's at a better place now than it was when you got there. And I think that's a really cool thing to have that you can always look back on. Can you just speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, it's such an honor to play for Danbury, and the amount of people that I met there and the amount of athletes that was there. I'm leaving now. Look like at a Malik or something, going to CCSU and thriving there. And it's just yeah, an honor to play at Danbury, and I'll always be a Danbury native, and yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
So now you get to go to college, right? Now you get to go play for the Big Ten. You get to play Division I. You get to be on TV. You get to do all those things. What do you expect the biggest challenge for Ja to be to get to that level where you're making an impact on that kind of a team?
What was that?
I was just saying, now the jump up from Connecticut high school football to Big Ten football is a big jump. What's the biggest thing that you need to work on so that you can make an impact at that level?
To thrive at the Big Ten and compete with those guys, and I know I can do it. It's gonna take time. My weight has to get up immediately. It just has to get up, and technique wise, I just have to get better at that. I know yeah, my speed will be there. Yeah, honestly, just put on the weight.
Yeah. So I asked you before, a little bit about, are you a gym guy? Do you like to train and that kind of thing? A lot of guys. So as Jordan said, we're coaches. We deal with young men like you guys all the time, and even younger. And everybody gives us the same story. Yeah, coach, I'm working out. Coach, I got it, coach. I'm working out, right? And then you find out they're working out. They're working out when they want to work out. They're working out as much as they want to work out, but they're not really in a regimented program. They're not like structuring themselves. What advice can you give to the young players about having an accountability partner, having someone to push you, about having a schedule, about having goals? What can you talk to them about, with those things in mind?
Right. So I was talking to Coach Fleck, and he was talking about how you can go through this crisis and you can lay back and not work hard and all that. And it's honestly it's about what's the word? Like it's about a schedule where you put yourself in every day.
Like a process.
And right, it's a process that you have to put yourself in, and a goal you set every day that you wanna complete, and that's either school, that's either getting the work done, that's either working out. What do you want to achieve in that day and in that whole week? So and yeah.
So those are the little goals. Does Ja have? Do you have a big goal? Do you have like a goal that you set? Maybe it's a year away, or maybe it's 2 years away. Do you have that? And is that something that you kind of, look at and focus on a lot?
So my freshman year in college, a goal for me is to pack on the weight. That's just that. And my sophomore year in college, I do wanna play. I do wanna compete. I do wanna start, and that's gonna be a goal of mine of my sophomore year in college. And then the numbers will speak for itself.
Yeah, yeah. We did a recent podcast with a wrestler from Connecticut, and he told us when he went to college, he wanted to be a 4-time national champion. So he wrote it on his bed, 4-time national champion. And the first year when he didn't get it, he crossed it out and said 3-time national champion. And then and he just kept going with that process, and he became a national champion. So having that goal in mind, being focused with it is key, obviously. So good to hear that you're doing that.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, I'm just going into a great environment, a great culture already. It's already at the top. You know how like Danbury is at the bottom now. Coach Thierry's brought it up. Coach Flex has already brought that program up, and I'm just there to compete and try to bring more championships to that program.
Oh yeah, I mean they're doing terrific, and they had a bowl win this year. So yeah, you're going
Right.
to a situation where there's a lot of upside for you guys. That's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
So I know that you kind of had to. There was a coaching change in BC, so you ended up going a different way. When you kind of went back into the recruiting pool, what about Minnesota? I mean, obviously they're great. They're winning games and all that stuff. But what about Minnesota and maybe specifically Coach Fleck kind of and the culture jumped out at you that was like I'm going to fit here?
Right. So I had 3 schools that I wanted to go to, and that was Rutgers, BC, or Minnesota. And as soon as the BC head coach got fired, Minnesota coach Panagos was the defensive line there, and he contacted Coach Thierry, and he came to the school and talked to me about Minnesota. And I was never trying to go far. I was just trying to stay home, but I wanted to visit them, and I wanted to do an official visit with them, and seeing Coach Fleck and how he runs that program and the culture that he brought. That's just inspiring, and RTD and Sky Umont, all that. That just this is inspiration, and then you always want to. If you hear him, you will want to go to bat for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to him kind of speak on you for a little bit.
Yeah.
He actually called you pretty a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, he seems like a very charismatic guy. Can you speak about just like what RTB means and kind of what it means to you?
Rollerboat is a program where him and his I think his child passed away, and Rollerboat was just keep rowing. I forget what it I know it is a meaning to it. I do forget it, but
I'm
yeah, it's like keep What
it's
was that?
kind. I mean, it's got to be. I don't know personally. I'm sure you'll come back with it ingrained in your DNA after a year of
I will.
football there. But I would assume it has something to do with every man's got a job on the team. We all got to row the boat in the same direction.
Absolutely. Right.
So I always heard them say that. I admired the way that everyone kind of wore a captain. Everyone was kind of considered a captain on the team. Just some really cool culture things that kind of let everybody know that everyone's an integral part of this team, and without everybody rowing the boat, we're not going to go the direction we want to go and at the speed we want to go there. So
Right.
I think he did a pretty incredible job. So I'm excited for you to get out there and show your stuff.
Appreciate it.
I also watched the Coach Flick introduce you, and at that point, I knew he wasn't letting you go, man. I mean, the guy speaks real highly of you. He's definitely pumped to have you, and that's got to make you so proud right there. I mean, to have this, again, Big Ten Division I coach, for lack of a better term, salivating at the fact that he's gonna get Joyner on his team. It's got to make you feel pretty good. And even though you keep humble, it's got to be a little pride somewhere in the chest.
Oh, absolutely. It's the amount of that's just confidence right there that a coach like that can believe in you and will have your back always. And that's another reason why I went there, because I knew he would have my back, and I didn't know anybody going over there when Coach Panagos left. So yeah, it was we FaceTime literally like 100 times that day.
Yeah.
Because I kept going back. I wanted to meet Coach Halfley. I wanted to, explore Rutgers. But I was like, honestly, if I do want to win, I do want to get to the place where I need to go. And that was the best opportunity for me.
And so now that you're really a confident guy about being able to play at that level, do you have any dreams in the head about the next level? I know it's early. I'm not trying to put too much pressure. I'm just saying, do you have any thoughts long term about making it to that next level, NFL or pro player?
Oh, there's definitely thoughts there, and but obviously it's just little goals that I'm set to get there, and but that's obviously a goal of mine to get to NFL and make my family proud and there.
So, Ja, going to the next level, I know you talked about how like your main goal of freshman year is kind of learn the ropes, pack on weight. But obviously you're kind of stepping into the unknown a little bit. The jump from high school to college is always a big transition. What are things that you're maybe not nervous about, but are kind of question marks right now? And it doesn't have to be necessarily football related. Maybe it's school or moving out to Minnesota. What are some things that you're kind of little weary about?
Concerns. Well, obviously you're gonna go through adversity, and you're not gonna have your way in a lot of these practices. Trying to get this weight up, but obviously just staying true to yourself. School-wise, I know I'm gonna have the amount of support there that's needed for me to do well in school. I know my family, they'll travel, and I'll help them travel as well with the amount of support from Minnesota to get them to games and see me as well. That was the only concern for me was my family getting to see me when I moved far. So not really concerned, not really.
Yeah, John, not to really switch gears totally, but obviously following you on Instagram and social media, I see that you're a pretty socially conscious guy too, and I know you've been posting a bunch about that tragic death that happened out there in Minnesota, and I just don't know, do you have any thoughts on that you want to share with the audience? This is not really a political or social show, but it's important. It's a part of life, man. So if you have anything, you want to mention about that, I'd love to hear it.
So Coach Fleck had a really a meeting with all the players and spoke on the incident and how Minnesota is supposed to be this great town and how safe it was. And to see that video, he felt embarrassed. He got really embarrassed to all his players, all his families that he spoke on, like the recruitment and stuff like that, and how coaches are using this against Minnesota and stuff like that. But honestly, this could happen anywhere,
Yes.
and it's just really unfortunate for it to be there, and that's really it.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I just wanted to mention it because I know that you have been following it, and I'm following it constantly. It's something that upsets me to the core. And when I see someone like you going out there, whatever, and it could be anywhere, like you said, it could be anywhere. But it's always
Right.
a topic of concern. So thanks for sharing.
Right. Not a lot of coaches go over that with their players, and just to see Coach Fleck concerned about it and wanted to hear everyone's thoughts on it and everything. It just shows you the class act that he is, and yeah, that's just that a guy that can have your back like that, and just showing the love from him is just great to see.
Yeah, that's great, and it sounds like you guys already have a great relationship, and it's going to continue to grow when you're out there. And him doing things like this is just kind of fostering that for you all the time. So that's great. That's great.
Right.
So, one more question. If you were to talk to, 12-year-old Ja and trying to give him some advice on this road that you are starting to walk or have walked part of, what would some of your advice be to him?
A 12-year-old Ja.
Yeah.
I can't believe he froze up again.
I'll tell him to stay true to yourself. Don't worry about whatever you say let you down, and yeah, just stay the path.
Yeah, man. I mean, you have anything else?
No, man, that's it, John. We appreciate you joining us, man, and we'll be following you. And we wish you the best of luck. And I'm sure you're going to crush it out there. And anytime you want to jump back on, once you're an All-American, you can jump back on with us, and we give some new insights as to how you got to that level. So we appreciate it, and best everything to you, man.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Okay, you be well.
See you, John.
All right.